Have you ever wondered if words and fame can be a form of power, just like armies and money? For a very long time, power meant one thing: physical force. It meant heavy swords, thick castle walls, and violence. But in the 1300s, a man named Francesco Petrarch found a different path. He didn't carry a sword. Instead, he carried an intense love for old books, and he used a simple pen to make his mark. From the quiet corners of his study, he laid the foundation for an empire built entirely on words. It turns out, changing the world does not always require an army. Sometimes it just requires the right ideas. Hundreds of years before Petrarch was born, brilliant thinkers wrote down their ideas. But over the centuries, many of those writings were lost, hidden away in dark, dusty, and forgotten rooms across Europe. Petrarch wanted to hear those lost voices, so he traveled across the continent, searching through cold monastery cellars to rescue the thoughts of dead authors. He was hunting for manuscripts, handwritten books where every single letter had been inked by a scribe long before printing existed. By brushing the dirt off these pages, Petrarch was physically pulling these voices out of the silence and making them speak again. His desire to understand things extended beyond books to the physical world itself. In 1336, he climbed a very tall mountain in France called Mount Ventoux. At the time, this was highly unusual. People climbed mountains to hunt for food or to gain an advantage in a war. But Petrarch climbed his mountain simply to look at the sky and enjoy the view. He was driven by a restless curiosity, that simple human urge to see what is over the next ridge, just to know it is there. For Petrarch, this climb proved that the world was something to be studied and admired for its beauty, not just a place to survive. People deeply admired his poetry and his letters. They loved his writings so much that he was invited to the ancient steps of Rome for a very special honor. There, in front of a massive crowd, a crown of green leaves was placed on his head, marking him as a great poet. His reputation traveled faster than he did, carrying his name into the halls of kings and popes, until everyone wanted to meet the man behind the words. That ceremony in Rome proved that a person could achieve ultimate respect and recognition through the strength of their writing, rather than the strength of their sword. But soon after, Europe entered a very dark period. A terrible sickness, the plague, swept through the continent. It claimed countless lives and left the vibrant streets of Italy silent and empty. During this devastating time, another man named Giovanni Boccaccio was heavily influenced by Petrarch's ideas. He saw the sorrow all around him. But instead of writing about death, he chose to write a book filled with stories about love, laughing, and everyday living. Storytelling became a tool for survival. Through his book, Boccaccio captured the joy of human life at the exact moment it was most threatened. Together, Petrarch and Boccaccio encouraged people to value their own experiences. They taught readers to pay close attention to human joy, pain, and everything in between. This focus on our shared joys and heartbreaks grew into a movement called humanism, placing the value of human life and our own feelings at the very center of how we think. These two men shifted the focus of an entire culture. They changed how the world thinks without ever commanding a single soldier. So, I will ask you this question again. Can words and fame be a form of power, just like armies and money?